Welcome to the Romance Your Tribe podcast with me, Janet Beckers, where every episode is about action, creating an online business you absolutely love, and bringing joy to the work you do. Let's get this party started. Hello and welcome. Janet Beckers here. It is so great for you to join me today in your earbuds or on your video for Romance Your Tribe podcast. And today, I thought I'd help you to be able to think a little bit laterally about the way to be able to build in some freedom into your business by transitioning from one-to-one, which could be an hourly rate or only working with clients one-on-one. So that means that you're kind of trapped, if you want to go on a holiday or have any freedom about when and where you work. So to go from that to go to one-to-many, where you are creating a beautiful framework that's got your character and your unique approach to business stamped all over it, that allows you to go from one-to-one to one-to-many. Now, when I'm talking about thinking laterally here, it's because most people, when they talk about you can go from one-to-one to one-to-many, they're talking about creating courses. Now, for some people, that's really, really exciting, and I love it. Creating courses is like just your ticket to freedom, baby, in business, honestly. But for a lot of people, the whole idea of creating a course, taking the time to create it all, to work out what's going to go in it, to then think about, well, all the technology side of it, how do I do that? The whole thing is so overwhelming. It's like, the whole eat an elephant, how do you eat an elephant? It's even the whole idea of wanting to know where's the first bite is just overwhelming. So what I want to do is I want to give you some alternative ways of doing this that gives you that freedom. Because here is a thought for you. If you've started your business, if you've chosen to run this business, apart from all the other businesses that you could do, helping the people who you help, you've got some skills, you've got some passion that you are bringing to what you're doing. So you're building a business around that. Now, if you're going to go to that effort of creating your own business rather than just working for somebody else's business, well, baby, you get to choose what it's going to look like. You get to choose what your perfect day looks like. You get to choose what is it like when you're working with your clients. Where are you going to work? When are you going to work? What hours? You get to choose it all, okay? So that means that the way that you deliver your solutions to people, your services to people, you get to choose what you're going to be doing based on how you want your perfect day to be. I mean, a radical, hey? I mean, we go into business for freedom, but very often we get trapped. And there's lots of reasons for that getting trapped. It could be because you only thought there was the one way to go. Or it could be you started doing something because either everybody else started doing it that way, or you, it's what clients asked for, and then you found that you were delivering your services and your solutions in a way that makes you feel a little bit trapped, and you don't want that, So now let's look at a few ways. So the first thing I want you to do, I want you to think about your perfect day. And it can be going into, say, your perfect week. Like, what does it look like for you? For some people, I find if they try to make everything completely hands-free, that they have no contact with clients, they lose their mojo. Because it feeds their soul to be working directly with clients to some component. Okay? So if that's what feeds your soul, make sure that you go, yeah, okay, I want to do that. But how do you want to do that? Are you a person that loves one-on-one? Are you a person that thrives in groups? You get to choose, okay? Are you a person that loves doing things virtually? Or are you a person that if you can't connect with people in person and shake their hands, give them a hug, whatever it is. If you can't do that, it doesn't feel right. Okay, so you get to choose those things. You may go, you know what, I'd be really happy if I don't have to have contact with anybody, but I've got great solutions and I want to make a business. That's what you claim. So the very first thing I want you to do is think about what gives you a sense of achievement, your personal satisfaction, what feeds your soul in the way that you work with people, and write that down and keep it as a reminder, because you're in charge, baby, okay? And here is a tip for you. It's okay for you to change things as you're going, okay? I'll share as I'm going through this. I've actually changed my way that I work with people a few times throughout even just the last 5 years. And that's because it was feeding something that I wanted my business to be able to provide for me in terms of what I got satisfaction from, okay? Now, that for sometimes, if you haven't designed your business right to start with, it's really difficult to do that. If you design it the way that I teach my clients, which is using the nested business model, it's actually not that difficult for you to be able to flip around, okay? So I've got free training for you on that, romanceyourtribe.com. I think it's /masterclass. I'll have links around here, but I've got training there for you, okay, on all of the things that I'm going to be talking about today. But yeah, also that. So now let's look at how you can be creating one-to-many, but let's look at some different ways that you can be designing that, okay? So first of all, when I'm talking about one-to-many programs, I'm talking about your framework. Now, this is what I do with my clients. We go through that whole process of really working out what is unique to the way that you do business, the way you get results with people, who you get the best results with, what their outcomes are, all of those sorts of things. And then we create your unique framework, your process, your steps, and we give it your unique name and twist on it so it can be trademarkable. So people are no longer comparing apples to apples because you stand out as quite different. Even if there's a lot of people that can be doing similar things that you're doing in your business, okay? We're going to create your framework and your brand so you are unique. And so that's what I've got there for you in the free training. What do you do to make that happen? But let's look at the way that you can deliver it, because I want to see which one resonates with you. Okay, so using this beautiful framework, your own trademarkable system, the way that you get things done with people, you can use that on one-on-one. Okay, in fact, this is a great way to transition, because instead of saying to somebody, hey, this is how you work with me, it's this much per hour, we'll go session by session. Or we'll go, you might have 5 or 6 sessions. Instead, you've got a framework that you know is going to get the best results for clients. Always come back to what gets the best results, okay? So because of that, you can be going, well, I've actually got this fantastic system, this framework, that's going to help you to get those results in a much more sustainable way, or faster way, or whatever way. Like, it's going to get them the results, and you know it's going to work. So you can be selling them something that is a program. So it's no longer the hourly rate. It usually will mean that you can reduce your number of hours that you're working one-on-one with the clients, because you're creating different resources as you're going. And they could be checklists, scripts, little videos and things that you create for them, exercises they can do. Now, going one-on-one to people is a great way for you to start with that, because that way you'll know if it actually works. You get to work with different people. You can then with confidence say, I know this stuff works. Now, the next way that you can be doing it is you can be starting with a very small group of people. And this is how we start with people with our beta program, because we want to make sure that if you've got this system, we want to know it gets results for people. Surprisingly, very often a small group will get even better results than working one-on-one with people. Trust me. I really struggled with that one at first. And then I actually found, wow, this is actually better for people. So you could go, all right, I'm going to work with a small group. Now, that small group could be done virtually. You could be meeting via Zoom. It could be done in person. You could be meeting in, in a training room or something like that. So it could be, so you've got that small group. Now, a really great way to start that is a cohort. So they all start together and they go through, and it finishes at a certain time. It might be 6 weeks, might be 6 months, whatever is best for the client. Okay, so in that way, that is a really fantastic way for you to be able to test what's working and see if there are any extra resources that are going to make it work, get solutions for people with, that you may not have needed one-on-one because you could have been doing it in person. So this is such a great way for your second step, because it means that you're able to get results for people and you get case studies and testimonials. And because you're only working with a small group, it takes a lot of pressure off you, and they will very often be clients that you may have worked with one-on-one, and you can say, hey, let's take part in this beta group. Because you're the beta group, it's a lower price to start with, but you're going to be giving me feedback. Then you may continue to go, you know what, I like this small group format, but of course my price is going up. And you don't have to create your resources anymore. So that's a small group that you could be doing. You could say, look, I don't want to do the whole cohort, getting everybody going at once. That's okay. You may have a process that you can work with people, and they can be coming in as, step by step as they're going, because they're not all having to be doing everything at the same time. And the nice part, that I really like you starting with the cohort group, because that way you've got a group and you can just be creating new resources for them a week ahead. So you don't have to have all your ducks in a row, okay? So that can be a way that you can work with people. Now, you might decide, okay, well, the small group thing, yep, that's okay. I really want to ramp this up and do less time with people. You might decide that you're going to go one-to-many. And that one-to-many could be doing it live. So you might be meeting with people on Zoom, doing all their training live. You might have like a Facebook group or a Telegram group or no group, doesn't matter, that you could be doing with people. Or you might want to do that one-to-many, but you're going to record them and you will not really have to do anything live. That may work best for you. That's the kind of thing that ultimately then becomes your course. But as you can see, at each of these ones, I'm just walking you through these step by step, is very often you will go through step one, and then the next time is going to be the small group. Then the next one's going to be a larger group. Because you're creating things, it just means that really what you're doing is ultimately you can be turning this into a course. But you didn't have to do it all to start with. You got paid. You got paid to develop your course. You got paid to develop your resources. You got paid to scale your business and grow it. So that's where it stops being so overwhelming. Now you might go, okay, now I've got a course. That's the way that I'm going to be delivering it. Now, you could also go, well, actually, I'm going to make it a membership. I really like the idea of a membership site. So you might go, okay, well, I'm going to make it that people who join the membership once a month, they get sent one of the training modules, for example. There's lots of different ways that you could change that all around, okay? Now, you could be doing it in that way. Now, let's look at some other ones. It could be, you might go, well, Janet, so far all the ones you've been talking about have been working, either with people personally, but it's all been like virtually. It's all been, say, through Zoom. It's all been through maybe sending people an email or a PDF or a video that's going to help them with the next steps. Everything's been online and virtual so far, but that's not my gig, because when I worked out about what I like to do, my perfect day, is I don't want to do anything like that. I want to be working with people in person. That's okay. I've got you covered. Just so you know, the whole reason why I focus on the virtual is that is so much more freedom. And it also allows you you can do it either way. You can start off what I'm going to mention now, which is working in person, and then record things, keep that, and you can be working virtually, or you can do it the other way around. But ultimately, you can repurpose everything to be able to go virtually. It will free you up. So let's look at some ways that you can be using your exact same framework, but you're actually connecting with people in person. The same kind of your step-by-step that you might be doing with people one-on-one or maybe a small group, you can be doing that as workshops. You could be using that to do a one-day workshop. You could be using that same framework to do a VIP day where people pay you top dollar to have you walking through that with them VIP, but actually in a workshop where, you really lay on, giving them full focus. Maybe multiple VIP days. They might have a VIP day on just one section. That's okay. A lot of people can build their whole businesses just around that. So if you love the one-on-one and you love the whole idea of making it really indulgent and just focusing on them and having a bit of luxury at the same time, that's a great way to do it. With the workshops, you could decide that you're going to make it a small group workshop where there's a lot of you helping people personally. You might make it a series of workshops that you're doing. Or you may decide that you're going to do it at a larger group. It could be very much almost like a conference that you could be doing. You could be taking it into companies and be doing it where really you've got the one client, but you've got all of their staff that you're running through your process. So you're not having to work one-on-one all the time. You can be delivering what you're doing and helping more people with less of your time. And that's the whole idea, is just giving you freedom. Another really great way to do this is to run a retreat. And that's actually something that I've been playing around doing this year. And that's because, lockdowns are starting to finish, and it's, it looks as if I can see that there is hope on the horizon, that if I plan to do something to bring people together and totally spoil them with indulgent things that are going to allow them to think bigger, while eating great food and having massages, it's very likely not going to get cancelled because of COVID, hopefully. You might decide that you're going to use your framework, but you're going to specialise in running retreats. It might be one-day retreats. It might be multiple days. It's up to you. So I really want to hear from you, what is your perfect day? Because you can take these and mix and match them around. You might go, well, I really like connecting with people. And you might be like me, where I really feed off the energy of groups. So for that reason, with my Attract Your Tribe Academy, every month I turn up live and facilitate a group to help them. And I love it when the more people we get on there, the better. I love helping people sort of bounce off each other. You might decide that, I'm going to include one-on-one. So I'm going to have all of these resources, but I'm also going to include one-on-one. I do that with my accelerator clients, and I love it. People apply to be part of that because I'm working with them closely. I really want to know that we resonate and that I can help them. But I get a lot of satisfaction from that. So the thing is, you can be having all of the same framework, the same coursework that you're creating step by step, but you don't have to wait to get all your ducks in a row. You can be getting paid as you're delivering, and then you can change it around. For example, I had one year where I had kind of automated a lot of my business, and then I realized, I've lost my mojo because I'm not feeding off the energy of the people who I was doing things with in live workshops online. So I decided that I was going to I did it for 2 years, a high-end program where we actually got together for 3-day blocks. I think we did it 3 or 4 times a year. And we really got to work closely together. We got to go out for dinner together. We got to sit on the lounge and have drinks together, but we also got to workshop together because that's what I needed at that time. The same framework, the same sort of, people who wanted to get the same outcomes, just delivered in a way that worked for me. After 2 years, that was enough. I didn't need to do that anymore. Kind of got that out of my system. And then I was able to go back and just revert to working with people online. It's your business. You're creating your lifestyle. You get to mix and match what you're doing. You get to choose it, okay? And see what really lights you up. So I'd love to hear from you. Your perfect day, what is it? Like, what combination over, say, a week or a month? How much of that are you spending with your clients, if any at all? Or are you totally immersing yourself? I'd love to know for you, what does it look like for you? What does your perfect day, your perfect lifestyle look like? Because let's create something for you that is your unique business model, your unique deliverability tied to what you want to do. Let's do that. So I'd love to hear from you. The best way to do that, just drop me an email. I would love it if you either share a post or a story on, say, Insta or Facebook or even Instagram. No, LinkedIn. But I'm over in Instagram. I'm trying to go over there a bit more lately. If you just want to tag me on any of those places at Janet Beckers and tell me, like, what is your perfect day when it comes to the business that you are creating. I'd love to know what's your perfect day, and just tag me in that and I will shine the light on you. I'll share it with other people as well, and or just drop me an email. Love to hear from you. And my scare-sighted challenge to you, scare-sighted being something that really scares you because it's pushing you out of your comfort zone, but if it works well, hey, imagine that. My challenge to you is, which one are you going to start with? Which one of these different ways of you being able to change your business from one-to-one to one-to-many, or to even bypass the one-to-one to start? I'd love to hear from you. Which is the one that you want to start with? Or, and here's an extra bonus, is what would be the one that you would think, oh, how awesome would that be? I can't imagine it. That would be, you know, on your dream board that you would have. I'd love to hear that. Where are you going to start, and where is your dream board? Where do you want to finish? Okay, share that with me and I would love to hear from you. Go get them, folks. Bye. Oh, and if you want some extra training, go into a lot of depth, all the steps that you can take or that you need to take in order to convert your business over to one-to-many, without needing to spend, you don't even need a website. I'll show you how to do it without a website, without sales letters, without even an email list, how you're going to create that and how you're going to get those sales, okay? Within 90 days, I'll show you how to do that. That's in the free training. If you go to romanceyourtribe.com/masterclass, and you'll be able to get that there. Okay, bye. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. I loved hanging out with you, so let's do this again. The best way to do that is to subscribe right now to Romance Your Tribe podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you'd like to dive in deeper to more episodes, great resources, and really in-depth free training, come over and join me at romanceyourtribe.com. Bye.